Everyone wants the kudos, the clout, and the authority that comes with executive presence, but very few actually know how to learn it. We see it everywhere. Leaders with performative presence that looks good in a meeting but collapses under pressure. If you want to move beyond presence, that is as hollow as a ping pong ball, and integrity, which is as compromised as the Leaning Tower of Pisa, you need to align with something deeper. In this video, we're stripping away the performance to find out what real executive presence actually looks like and how to connect with it. So what is executive presence, as it is conventionally understood? If you have attended leadership development programs, you will likely have encountered some version of it. Communication skills, gravitas, confidence in the room, charisma, the ability to command attention without demanding it, how you carry yourself, how you structure your thinking under pressure, how you show up when the stakes are high and all eyes are on you. And all of that is fine, but it's fundamentally incomplete because what most executive presence training is actually teaching you is how to perform presence, not how to live it. And there is a very significant difference. Welcome to Leadership Inside Out. I help senior executives and entrepreneurs master self-leadership, transforming inner awareness into real-world performance. Here is the problem with the conventional approach. When you learn to perform executive presence, to adjust your body language, modulate your voice, hold eye contact with deliberate intention, you are working from the outside in. You are taking your cue from how you want to appear to others, and then shaping yourself accordingly. And this creates a very specific trap. When the board is satisfied, when your team is aligned, when the metrics are moving in the right direction, the performance holds. You project calm, you appear authoritative, you seem to all appearances completely in command. But the moment genuine pressure arrives, the kind that finds you at 11 o'clock the night before a critical announcement, or in the middle of a negotiation that is not going the way it should, the performance is the first thing to go. Because performance is always contingent. It depends on conditions remaining manageable enough for you to sustain it. And here is what the people around you sense, not always consciously, not always articulately, but they sense the gap between the performance and the person underneath it. Trust, real trust, is not built on polished presentation. It is built on coherence, in the sense that what is visible on the surface corresponds to something genuine underneath. When that coherence is absent, even subtly or briefly, people notice. They may not be able to name it, but they feel it. So if performed presence is the outside-in trap, what is the alternative? Real executive presence grows from a particular form of self-leadership, one that is less concerned with how you appear and more concerned with whether you are genuinely and deeply aligned with what you are doing, what you believe, and who you are. Here are 3 indicators of where you currently stand and where the work is. The first, where does your sense of authority come from? If your authority is primarily derived from your title, your track record, your reputation, it is contingent on those things remaining intact. The moment any one of them is challenged, the authority wobbles. If, however, your sense of authority is grounded in a genuine clarity about your values and your purpose, in knowing what you stand for, independently of whether the room agrees, it is considerably more stable. And that stability is what people experience as presence. The second, how do you hold silence? In any significant room, silence is a test. The leader who feels compelled to fill it, to manage other people's discomfort, to keep things moving, is operating from the outside in. They are managing the external environment. The leader who can sit with silence, who is not disturbed by it, who allows it to do its work, is operating from a different place entirely. Not trying to manage what is happening out there, but grounded in what is happening in here. The third, what happens to your presence under genuine pressure? When the deal is uncertain, when the team is fractured, when the numbers don't hold. In those moments, does your presence contract? Do you become smaller, more cautious, more managed in what you say, or does it stabilize? Genuine executive presence does not disappear under pressure. It becomes clearer because it is not dependent on conditions being favorable. What we're really talking about here is integrity. When your behavior is driven by the need to be right, liked, or respected, it's coming from outside of you. When your behavior is driven by who you are and what you know to be true, it is coming from within. The first is to perform. The second has the ability to transform others through real presence founded in integrity. If you are listening to this and starting to wonder where you currently stand, whether what you bring into a room is something you inhabit or something you perform, I have a practical resource that can help you begin to answer that question. It's the Inner Leadership Mastery Profile, a short diagnostic that gives you a clear map of where you are leading from the inside out and where the outside in pattern is still running. The link is in the description below. Let me bring this together. Executive presence, as most people are taught to understand it, is a collection of behaviors and skills to be acquired and deployed. And there is some value in that, in how you communicate, how you structure your thinking, how you occupy a room. But underneath all of that is something far more fundamental, a quality of inner alignment that either supports the entire structure or quietly undermines it. When a leader is genuinely aligned with their values, their purpose, their honest reading of the situation, something coherent emerges, not a performance or a practice set of behaviors, but a quality of presence that other people feel without being able to name. It is transformative, not performative. And the paradox at the heart of this is worth sitting with. The leaders who work hardest to project executive presence are often the ones who have the least of it, because presence is not something you project. It is something you allow. You allow it by doing the inner work, by developing a relationship with yourself that is grounded enough not to require constant external confirmation and validation, by being genuinely more interested in what is true than in how you appear. That is the inside-out shift, and it is where real executive presence begins. If you found this useful, the Inner Leadership Mastery Profile in the description below will help you understand where you currently stand and where to focus next. And if this raised a question you are sitting with about your own presence or how this pattern shows up in people around you, leave it in the comments. I read them all. And remember, the most important organization you will ever lead is yourself. See you in the next video.